I have this draw to take pictures in the fireplace.
These were photographs of family members in our fireplace.
One of several photographs was of someone that I don't know. My ghost story began when strange things started happening at my home in Rough and Ready, California. I moved to Rough and Ready 13 years ago because that's where my husband lived.
I've been in this house for over 40 years now, and this has been my only home. I grew up in this house. For the first 8 years of our marriage, we didn't have anything happen abnormal.
The first strange event that happened was when my husband was installing a video surveillance camera. We were setting it up originally because we were hearing strange things at night. We live out a little ways, and so it was just to make myself feel better. One day, a woman's face appeared on the monitor. So I grabbed my camera. I took a photograph of the image, and then I ran outside to verify what I was seeing. I didn't see anything, and I went back inside to look at the monitor, and her face was gone. So all I had was the photograph.
At the time, I didn't think that it was anything extraordinary.
He tried to explain it away as shadows or lighting. I kept wondering, who is this? So I reached over and grabbed a photo album that belonged to Mark's family, and on the very first page was a photo of his grandmother, and I knew instantly that it was her. My husband, Mark, was absolutely in denial.
I was really reluctant to believe that that could possibly be a photograph of my grandmother.
She had told him before she passed away that when life was no longer worth living, she would come get him.
I really found it disturbing to think that my grandmother might be back right now, because that means that she might be here for me.
It really bothered him, so he didn't want to accept it. It was around that time that I began to be woken up between 1 and 3 o'clock every night. I would be drawn into the bathroom where I would stand there and stare into the mirror. I didn't see myself looking back at me. I didn't recognize me. I would be in the shower until the water would run cold, and I didn't realize that I was in there that long. I definitely think something began influencing my behavior in the house. When I first started to tell my husband, Mark, these things, he thought that perhaps I was just lonely or was making things up.
I am a skeptic. I like to try to come up with a logical explanation for things. I was on the fence on the whole topic of paranormal or spiritual activity like this occurring, but then my wife started showing me photographs that she was taking from our fireplace.
I was asleep one evening on the couch, and when I got up and I walked past the fireplace, there was an intense blue-white light coming from between the logs in the fireplace. I've never seen a light like that coming from the fireplace. And so again, I grabbed my camera to get the blue light. I took the photograph, but instead of the blue light, what I captured was a man's face. I noticed that it looked like a profile of a soldier. I again picked up the same photo album, and several pages in, I found the profile of my husband's grandfather. When I showed my husband the photographs side by side, he had no logical explanation.
The similarity between the photographs is incredibly striking.
I was overwhelmed. I felt like I was dealing with something much larger than I could comprehend.
Knowing that one of them was taken in the early 1900s and then the other one was taken just a few months ago is really disturbing. These were photographs that my wife was taking that were family members of mine that had long since gone. Why weren't they her family members?
I continued to take photographs. I was drawn to it. Sometimes I would take 100, 200 shots. One particular photograph stopped me in my tracks. much like the one of his grandfather, but I recognized this one instantly.
One of the pictures that my wife took was her brother that had passed away.
That one really got me because my brother passed away about 4 years ago, and I don't know why he would try to contact me. I don't know what message he might have for me. He was a super big brother when I was little. As I got older, we didn't keep in contact very much, and we'd only been in contact about a year prior to his death. Now it's not just Mark's family. Now it's my family. Not too long after that, I continued to have this urge, this draw to take pictures in the fireplace. And one of several photographs was of someone that I don't know. I could see his eyes, his nose. It was a very intense, scary face. I really had a deep concern because this was so intense. I started searching for answers. I went online to see if I could identify this person.
I was frightened. I was panicked. Then it started to really open up to me that my wife is some type of a portal or has an ability to capture images of things within a portal. I believe there is something that is paranormal in my house that makes me frightened for my family. This entire experience is way beyond what I consider normal. Overall, it's been overwhelming for me to think that I'm involved in this kind of activity in the house that I grew up in, that up until just a few years ago had no type of activity like this.
So all these spirits are trying to contact me, and I don't know why, or what they want, or what I'm gonna do.